Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this card making project. Now this project has got a little bit of paper folding in. It's a really pretty birthday card and I think you might like it. So everything I use I'll put in the description box on my blog. If you want to comment, please go to Facebook to comment on my like page. I'm just having a few issues with YouTube at the moment. I'm hoping they'll be resolved soon, but it's just at the moment there's a bit of an issue. So if you have got anything to say and you're desperate to say it, head on over to Facebook or contact me through my blog. So the first thing we're going to need is a base card. This is a 7x5 inch card, my favourite size, and on our cardometer it looks like this. Now this just gives you an idea at home of the size of card so that you've got some perspective on it for what I'm using. Because sometimes I know it's a little bit difficult at home for thinking how big's this, how big's that. So that just shows you ideally what size the card is. So the first thing, as always, I'm going to do is I'm going to use my bone folder to make sure I've got a good sharp crease along the edge of my card. And then we're going to do the inside first. The inside for this card is the quickest and the simplest insert. And it would work on any card because of the ease that it, the ease that it is to create. So the first thing I've cut a layer of ivory paper. Now my ivory paper doesn't quite match my ivory card. It does look as though it does, but it's just a little shade off. But a lot of people have said to me about getting matching paper for the inside, etc. It doesn't matter because people, when they open the card, they're not looking to see, does this paper match? Is it the exact shade? They don't look at that, they look at your beautiful work. So if you're making them a handmade card, they're in awe of what you've created, not your shades of paper. So try not to get too hung up about getting an exact match, because everything will tone in and it'll tone in beautifully with your, your creations. So I'm just taking the tape off the back of the ivory panel for the insert, and I'm simply adding that through the centre of the card. Now you'll notice that there was a big hole in it, and the hole I've cut a square on an angle so that it makes a kind of diamond shape. I've also then used the same die to cut out a piece of green card from Anna's Perfect palette, and then I've stamped it using one of the Say It Anyway stamps, and it says wishing you all the best. And all I've done is put double-sided tape on the back of it, and this will slot as an inlay into the aperture that we've cut in the ivory. And that's our insert. Simple, plain, not a lot of fancy to it, but there's just something and it will match the outside. You've got room for your message, to, from, and a little bit more if you need it. And now we can go to the outside. So again, I'm just going to use my bone folder to make sure that crease is still nice and sharp. Now for the outside, I'm going to start off with one of Anna's foil layers for the base of the card. I've kept it as a solid foil layer. I haven't been economical with it and saved the centre, and I'm using it all to cover the front of the card, like so. So it looks like that is the card front. Next, I've taken a piece of one of the Boxing Day papers from Anna, and I've just cut it to fit the centre of the foil layer. I've got double-sided tape on the back of it, and I'm just going to place it through the centre like that, just for something in the middle. Now next we're going to do a little bit of paper folding, because we want 4 of these shaped corners like this. These will go on my card like that. But I want to show you how I've created them. So they're very simple. They're taken from a little piece of square paper, and it measures 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. Sorry, I was just checking the measurement. So it's 5 centimetres by 5 centimetres. Now you're going to want either your bone folder or something that's going to help you make a nice crease on them. So I won't lie, it's a little bit fiddly, so for anybody that doesn't like the fiddly things, this might not be for you. But what we do is we take our square and we're folding it corner to corner. And you take your bone folder, make sure you've got a nice sharp edge. You open it up, and then you take one corner and fold it towards the middle, like so. Bone folder again along the edge. Turn it round and do exactly the same for the other side. So in effect, to begin with, you're making a kite shape. Again, the bone folder. Open it up. Then you're going to take one side of the square over to the fold at this side, like so. And then take your bone folder again. You're going to turn it round and do exactly the same for the other side, like that. Bone folder, and then the two outer edges you are going to fold in to themselves to the first crease that you've got. And at the moment you're thinking, oh, I can't do this, Anne-Marie, you've lost me. Don't worry, it all will become apparent when I show you how it all folds together. So you're simply making a series of folds on your square. The first one was the centre, corner to corner, and then the next two were to make the kite, and then the next was over to the furthest away crease, and then over to the furthest away crease, and then the two edges were into themselves like that. So then it will literally fold into the point with all the scores and the folds like that. And then you just take your bone folder one last time to make sure you've got those creases nice and sharp. And that is your folded corner. Because I don't really know what else to call it. It's like a, I don't want to call it a folded point, but it's a folded corner, we'll call it for this card. So for this, you're going to want 4 of them, which I've got here. I've got a little bit of tape on the back of them, and they won't lose the shape just because you've got tape on them. So we'll just peel the back of the tape away, and I'm simply going to add them into the centre of the card like that. Now I'm not going to press them down because I might want to manipulate them when I get to the next layer, just to make sure I've got them in the right place. So I'm just going to place them on there, and then I can press them down when I know that they're right. So there we go. Just do the last one. And this is from the Charlotte collection from Anna, this paper. As I said, the squares were just 5 centimetres square. So now I've got those in position. The next thing I've done is I've cut a square layer of the same green cardstock that we use for the inside from the Perfect palette. and I've cut that to fit across the centre, and I think I've roughly got these in the right place. So I'm going to press them down, and then we can go ahead with our next layer. The green cardstock is on 3D foam. Now it's only 3D foam through the centre and on the two sides, for the simple reason that where we've got our folded corners, we don't need the 3D foam. So we only need the 3D foam here and here and through the centre. So you can see it's building up nicely. The next layer is a layer that I've taken from one of the foil layers. It was a card that we made a couple of weeks ago, and I saved the centre for being economical because I didn't want to cover it up. So now I'm using it, and I'm simply going to add this over the green layer in the centre, like so. And then I've taken one of Anna's favourite flowers from the favourite flower sticker set, and these are the roses, and I'm just going to add those to the top of my card like that. And then to finish the card off, I've got a sentiment sticker that says happy birthday. Now on the back of it, because it's a sticker, I've peeled the back away. However, I've got foam on one side and I've left it as a sticker on the other side. This is simply because I'm going to place it over the bottom of the flower, which is already on 3D foam. So I only need the little bit that touches to be flat, but the opposite side to be on the same level. And that finishes off our card perfectly. Something a little bit different. I'm just going to see if I can straighten that. The joys of looking through a lens when you're popping things on. There we go, that's a little bit better. So that's the front of our card, and that's the centre. I know the centre's a little bit plain, you may be thinking, but I think because the front is so fancy, it just blends in so well. Now you would need a little bit of padding if you're posting this, because you've got your folded paper. So I think it would fit in the normal size envelope for this size card, for the 7x5. But if you're needing the extra padding, maybe go up a size with your envelope so you've got the extra room. But it wouldn't need a box envelope, I wouldn't have thought. Just an envelope that's a little bit bigger. So that's our card. It stands up nicely. It's going to go on the mantelpiece. It's not going to go on the windowsill, because this is going to be the pride and joy of somebody if you give it to somebody. I think that is just a gorgeous card, easy to make, and you can just see the effort that's gone into it with the paper folding to make it just that little bit different, and anybody would love it. So please feel free to comment on Facebook. As I say, I'm having a bit of an issue at the moment with YouTube, so hopefully that will be cleared up soon. But for now, if you've got anything to say, please go to Facebook. Check out my blog, all the details are on there, full description of everything I've used. There's lots of projects on there for you to choose from. I've tried to make it as easy for you to view as possible, so you can just click on a picture, it'll open up and the video will be there with all the description underneath. So I'd just like to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.